This is Irontrader. This is the last call of the day. So we're going to take a look here at Bitcoin, at that Ethereum ETF, ETHU, gold, silver, crude oil, and natural gas. The index is all ripping up here nicely, and they're all nice and green. Okay, at the end of the video, the support and resistance levels are posted for crude and natural gas, along with the EIA report for natural gas. This video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy selling stock about ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. All right, here we have Bitcoin daily and weekly chart. Now you can see here how we're holding really nicely on this 50-day, very nicely. You can see how the 8-day curled up over 21-day, and now we're headed towards the 50-day. So when you look at those futures going on there tonight, you're going to notice that 8-day is either going to be above that 50-day, or you're going to be pushing up right against it. All right. So what we're looking for on the downside, key support level, 115.992. That is your 50-day. Next key level is going to be right here. Is going to be your 8-day at 115.556, and then we have your 21-day at 113.478. Okay, so everything is sitting right there, very clear as far as the picture-wise goes. Okay, now upside, well, you can see how we're rising. We're breaking on out of that top of that 17,685 level, which is basically right here. Okay, see that 685 right here. See, that's your next level. Okay, so this is what we're looking at right here, looking at 18,295. Okay, but this is what we're really looking at here is this 18,350 level. That's going to be very key. We get above that, you're going to come right to the top, 19,810. Come up there, 127.55 level. And then we always look to the left of the chart here, 121.255. And then we always want to go to the left here because this was the breakout, 123.615. And then we have 123.755 and then 125.200. Now, I just think we're going to be marching right for this and retest this 125.200. Remember, well, now we're above all the simple moving averages, your 50-day, your 8-day, your 21-day, 100-day, and 200-day. And that's always a very good sign to take this bad boy higher. We crack this, you're going to go 130, 135, and you can push this all the way up to 150. Remember how Bitcoin, how this thing can run when it needs to. Look at here, 74,000, and you ran all the way up here to this 112 level. Okay, so look how I run. I'm not saying that's where it's going to go, but I'm just saying that's what we have. You can have nice, good runs. Same with this run here, we had 99 on the low, and what do we hit on the high? Okay, 123. Okay, so you can gain a lot of points here, and I think you're going to head right towards that 130, 135 level very easily. Now, we look at the weekly chart. You're holding your 21 obviously, and 8 days key. By tomorrow, we want to make sure that we're above 115.218. That's always very positive. Now we're only sitting at 53, plenty of room to run. The green is below your red, but that can curl up here very nicely as we have a nice, good bullish bottom left upper chart. Okay, 57, plenty of room to run. Look at where we're at the bottom here. The green over your red. This is looking very bullish. Now, when we look at Bitcoin on the overall situation, this just looks like to me like you're really trading with the overall market. When the overall market is green, Bitcoin just wants to follow and take it right on up here. Okay, so I'm long the BITX. I'm also trading it, which is also very nicely. Now, remember, the dividend will be coming out here. You want to get in there by the 25th here, and it should be payable by the 28th on the BITX dividend. Okay, let's take a look here at gold and silver. All right, before we get to gold and silver, I keep forgetting this one here. Let's take a look at the Ethereum ETF. Sorry about that. Okay, and I can see here we're rolling up here very nicely. Okay, so we had this double top situation, came right down, but we have this good consolidation. So that is basically 136.91. As long as we're holding that, and that's just the bottom of that candle right there, as long as we're holding that, we're just got this sideways kind of an action. All right, very nice. Now you can see how the 8-day is curling right on up here, sitting at 154.34, and we have 153.89. So now that 8-day is just above that 21-day, and that's always very bullish. Now we can see where we gapped up. So what you want to do on the downside is watch today's low, 158.90, and then yesterday's high, 157.52. Your gap, you fill, and then we can come down here to your 8-day, which is 154, and then we have your 21-day. Now we lose that. We're going to come to the bottom of that candle, 149.67 level. We'll come down there, 142.41, and then we have your retest at 136.91. Now upside, today we made this high of 165.12 level. So what we're really looking for is just a nice retest of that 168.49. Then we have to see what the reaction is once we get there. So next level is going to be 171. And then we come up here, 174.97. Then we have 175. Then we look at sticky over here at 183.18. And then 186. And then we come up here to your 188.71. That is your retest. You crack that, you're going to 200. Just very simple. Very nice looking chart. You got 56. That can go plenty of room to run to the upside. The green is now trying to cross over, shows that's your momentum. The key is one day does not make a market, so let's just see if they can keep right on rolling. Now you look at the weekly, look how nice it held this 8-day, 1, 2, so far to 3 weeks. We want to hold by Friday. We want to hold that 150.98 level, and that shows a very, very bullish stance going higher. Green over your red, good momentum. Got to a little bit overbought condition, came right on down. But now we have plenty of room to run here when you look at here on the daily chart. Okay, so if you're trading this here, just make sure that you really want to just hold that 8-day and that 21-day. That's going to be very key. But the key, as long as you hold this 136.91, we're doing very, very good here because you got the 50-day crawling up 134.66, and we're crawling up right behind it to give us a nice, good support. On the upside, just watch the top of that candle. That's going to be key. 168.49. You crack above that, we got a good shot at retesting that 188.73 level. All right, now let's look at gold and silver. All right, here we have gold, here we have silver. And I can see it's coming off a little bit, but look at this. All you have to do is look at this chart here. See how we got to an overbought condition. Now, there was no divergence on this. We just had a low, and we have a high and a higher high. And we have a high, we have a higher high. So there's no divergence. It just has a really nice, good run up. And now we're coming here, maybe a little sell off here, right here below this 8 simple moving average. Not saying that this can't reverse and go right back up, because anything can happen. Always remember what kind of markets you're dealing with. All right. Now you have the green here, still above your red, but that curls down. That could send this price come flying down. So on the downside, what you really want to watch is just watch today's low. That's at 36.60 level, and then come down here to the bottom at 36.51, and then we just come to the top 36.40, and then we just follow the candles down 36.21. 35.95. We come down here at 35.73, but really looking for that 35.78. As long as we hold that catch-all, we're doing good. If we don't, we're going to want to come right to the top of that candle at that 35.34 level, and then you work yourself down to that 50 SMA. But right now on the upside, you got to get back above that 8-day. You can see where it popped up again, but again, it couldn't hold at 36.89. Then we can go to today's high at that 37.07 level. We'll come up here 37.15. And then march it up here, 37.24, 37.39, and then 37.44. That's your big retest. You crack that, you're going to go with 37.50, and head right towards that 3800 mark. Now, again, this is gold. This has a really, really good run up when you look at this chart. So don't get too excited here. Doesn't mean that this is the end all be all. It's just that you had a really good run up, just like we had. But everything doesn't go up forever. Okay, runs up here, it came right on down. Ran right up here, came right on down. But again, a little bit of correction here would probably might be a good buying opportunity to get back into gold. Now we look at silver. Well, silver here, we're right below that. Couldn't get above. Let me bigger up a little bit here for you. Okay. See, we couldn't get above this 8-day. That's the key. Okay. We just slammed right into it. 42.23. You got to get above that. Next level, we're going to come up here. It's going to be right there at 42.29, 42.35 level. And we come up to the top of that candle, 42.94. And then when you're looking for that 43. We crack above that, you go into 44, 45, and we could even go higher all the way up to that 50 level. But right now, just not looking at it as today. So what we're doing is today we made this low of 41.49, and then we have this low here of 41.48. So we're sitting right here. That's going to be good support. But realistically, you can come all the way down to the bottom of this candle at that 41.08. As long as we're holding that level, and this 21-day, this is still very, very bullish pattern kind of a situation. We start losing that, then we come right down to that 50-day very easy. But again, for me, this is a trade. I took no trade in this at all today because I'm only like a long trader. I'll jump into the GLD. I'll jump into the SLV. But I can see the bullish kind of a run situation, and then I'm in and out every day. I'm not holding it because I am really not a big time gold trader. I'd rather be in gold. I'm with a crude oil, I should say, natural gas, gasoline, the tech sector, Bitcoin, that kind of stuff. And remember, you can't trade everything. All right. But again, you can always jump in a little, make a little hop ski going on up here. Not too bad. Okay. So right now, what you just watch is just watch that 8-day on the upside. We lose it. We start losing today's low when it come down here, retest that 21 SMA here. Same way with here, we just watch that 8-day. We start coming on down, look for that 21 today to be the catch-all. All right, let's take a little look at crude oil and natural gas. Here we have crude oil, here we have natural gas. Okay, now you can see here where we have this run up and then pull down. Run up here and pull down. Now you can see here how strong this 50 SMA is looking at past, all right? Went up to it, couldn't get through, got above it, couldn't hold it. Right here, same thing, couldn't hold it, came right on down. Couldn't get through it, and now we have this red candle. However, we are hanging on to the 8-day. So downside, what you want to know, this is going to be very, very key support, 63.31. On a closing basis, we lose that. We'll come down to the bottom there at 63.03. We look at the bottom here at that 62.89. We just virtually keep it on rolling. 62.52, 62.21, 61. 69 level, and then we're going to come down to that 61.45. Very, very crucial. But let's just see, we just have this sideways action because it looks like we have a red candle, then we have some up days and then down, up days and then back down again. So just be a little bit patient with this because there still are always circumstances when it comes to the crude oil, okay? So you don't know geopolitical, any kind of a politics situation, any kind of war, any kind of disruption, it always affects crude. That's why I like trading crude because it's always in play, all right? So upside here, what you have to do is you got to get back up to 21-day. There's your resistance at 352 level. Next big level here is going to be that 64.44, and then we have your 50-day at 64.78. Now you can see how that 50-day is coming on down, which, if it keeps right on rolling, you're going to cross that 100-day, you're going to push that price right on down. But if we can get above that, then we have that 66.03 level and then 66.98, which is your 200 SMA here. But right now, we just have sideways action, but always watch the 61.45. That's going to be very, very critical on a closing basis. Next big target is going to be right there, 59.74. Then we have 57.74. And then we have 55.12 level. Okay, I think you're going to come down here in the 50s eventually. I can't see why you really have anything going on now unless you have some kind of disruption, a war, hurricanes, anything like that. But that hurricane has to come into the Gulf and it has to shut down platforms and ports. Then it'll affect crude. Until then, it's not going to affect it. But again, you have a lot of war situations that could happen at any time. So just be very, very careful. Okay, I shouldn't say careful. I say trade both ways. That's how you make money. Okay, natural gas. Now, natural gas just, boom, came right on off here. So I was trying to build a position here, but then once we start losing an 8-day, boom, I'm all out of it completely. I should have jumped into the KOLD. That was a good trade today, but I'm just trading the long situation as of right now. So right now, I have no position in natural gas, okay? So what we're watching on the upside, we're looking right here. But again, I shouldn't say that because I'm going to see at 6 o'clock p.m. tonight, I'm going to see how this is all going to trade out. And I'll be trading against today's candle, which basically is 310 on the high side, 292 on the downside. So if it keeps going lower than that, then our next target is going to be right here. Is going to be that 286 level and then 277. The gap, 274 to fill, 265, and then 262 is your retest here. Upside, you got to get right back above that 21-day. If you get above that, then we can come over here to the top of this candle at that 3 flat level, and then we can come up to your 8-day, 302, and then we have 305, and then we can go to today's high, which was 310, and then 313, 316, and then 319. All right. So when we rally up here, I had a bottoming tail, came all the way up here. We had 313. All you had to do is look at the left of the chart. What do you have? 313. Yesterday's high, what do we have? 316. All you got to do look to the left of the chart. What do you got? 316. Okay, so it couldn't make it up to that 319, but if it does, eventually you're going to hit that 100-day and we'll hit that 200 SMA. But again, one day does not make a market. But again, we have this situation here. It's not a bear flag because we went above the top of that candle. But again, it just couldn't get through that 319 area. At that 316 right there stopped it. That's why I always say look to the left of the chart. That stopped it, and then trees come right on off here. So again, watch today's candle, the high, low, the close, and then watch this 21-day when those futures open there at 6 p.m. Now, again, you can see here 45. This is just dropping off. The green is still above your red, but again, this is not overbought or oversold. But what I'm waiting for is get myself a nice, good long-term situation. So today I just put a stop loss in there and I got out of there. I got out of all the natural gas that I have. So I'm going to wait and see here. If this goes lower, then I'll be looking for, some kind of a bottoming situation. And then I would just jump right back into the UNG and then take it right back up. Because I think this time of the year, eventually you're going to work yourself into that winter, into November. And I think natural gas is going to go higher. All right, let's take a quick look here at the indexes. Here we have the indexes. Not really much to look at. Okay, basically the same old thing. Okay, traders market. Going all the way up. We're just stepping all the way up here. Got 46,317. They probably want to take that to 47,000. Okay. So what we have here on the S&P, you're looking at 66.56. I think their target is looking at 67. Okay, that's what you're looking at. 6,700. That's what you're looking at. Okay, same way with here with the old Nasdaq. You're ripping up here 22.5. I think you're looking for that 23,000. The way this is going, this is nowhere near selling off. Okay, so again, this time of the year is not playing out like the seasonality is. But then again, we got another couple weeks left here in September, and you got that couple weeks left in October there. So just be very, very cautious. So what I'm doing, I'm just trading the market. And there was so many good trades in there today. Nvidia was a really good trade. Meta was a really good trade. My TQQ, that's always a good trade. Google, Palantir, a lot of really good tradings there today. The only one I missed there today was the KOLD, the short and natural gas. But other than that, I hit them pretty much on all that. And obviously the Bitcoin, that's up 4%. The BITX today, that's looking very, very nicely. Okay. So if you want to learn a little bit more on Bitcoin and then the IBIT and the BITX, I did a midday trading video there today. I put it all on there, all side by side, so you can see how they compare. Like the IBIT for Bitcoin, the ETF, it's up 2%, but the BITX, it's up 4%. Okay, so you're getting pretty much a double on what that is going to be. But these indexes here, they're basically everything is here. You look at all this. This is all negative divergence. Doesn't seem to matter. Everything just seems to be winding right on up here. So again, what you got to do is ride the wave until there's no more wave. Okay, because what you don't want to do is hit the shore, because that's going to leave a mark. Okay, so don't do that. Use stops. Take money. Put it in your pocket. Live to trade another day. All right, that's what I got for you. Trade what's in front of you, not what you want.